All right, here we are. Kara, glad to have you back.
I was
Live
back
from
here last week,
Colombia.
but I'm feeling like Columbia's home now. I'm feeling all juiced up. We just did a webinar for my company teaching everybody TikTok, and that was fun. That was great. And then we all know Brad, right? We all know Brad Van De Walle. Brad blew up my business, you guys. Do not do not ask that man for something unless you are ready to deal in the most best way possible. I've literally been stopped talking to agents nonstop, all thanks to that wonderful, wonderful man. So it's been a gong show around here, but today I'm ready to show you guys some YouTube stuff. So that's what we're here
Awesome. Cool. Well, let's go ahead. Let's get started here just really quickly for the people. Do we have any new people here today? Anybody that's new? Drop a comment. Let us know.
Yeah, drop a comment. Let me know if you're new. Let me know your area. I really like talking about, what niche or avatars you're into. If you deal with realtors, if you deal with retirees or first-time home buyers, or if you're a relocation expert, I like knowing that stuff because then I can give you little tidbits on more what you should be posting about and all that good stuff. So drop it in there. Let me know if you're new. If you're not, and you just want to show me some love, or maybe Shane.
Yeah, mostly me, please. I'm just kidding.
Drop it in there. Give me some engagement. I like to see that there's actual people, even though nobody wants to put their videos on. That's okay. But show us some love in the comments. Let me know that you guys are here. And today we're gonna go. We're from California. What up, Cali? We got Anani to second time joining from Chicago, the Windy City. Love it. Vicky, you are looking good, girl. You have done good. I see you. You look good. Fresh. Looks good. We got Ruth. What's up, Ruth? Good to meet ya. We got Caroline from Virginia. All right. Beverly, the OG. All right.
Good stuff. Well, let's go ahead. Let's jump in. Just so for the couple people that are new here, this is our Thursday social media marketing call for real estate agents. It's part of our Double Your Income coaching program. We do this every Thursday with the wonderful and talented Kara McMaster from McMaster Digital. Yes, we are very, very happy and grateful to have her part of this program. Today, I think, so we've been doing this now for a number of weeks. If you're new and you missed some of our past calls, they are posted in our Real Estate Marketing Conversion Mastery Facebook group. If you need a link to those past calls, let me know and I'll drop a link in the chat for you and get you into that group. We've done everything from profile optimization to how to generate some free leads. And we did a big couple weeks of TikTok, how to generate videos and what kind of videos to put together, batch creation of content. Kara shared a bunch of templates and tools and all kinds of great things that you can use to leverage social media to grow your business. And so if you need that, let me know and we'll go back to that. But what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and we're talking about one of my favorite topics because I don't do anything with this. And I watch my wife blow up on YouTube. She's becoming a celebrity here. So this is a great topic. And the people that I've seen implement this have seen incredible results, including the guys that I see on your slide deck. Kara. So let's go ahead.
I had to give a shout out to the OGs,
I
have to shout them out today. So I can't not do it. If we're going to talk about YouTube, you got to talk about the kings of YouTube, right?
Awesome. So just really, really briefly, what exactly are we covering today in terms of YouTube?
So we're just doing a little bit of a foundations just to get some clarity on like what to be posting, how to figure out what you like, how to come up with your content ideas, the length, the time, give you guys a little bit of insight. Again, like some agents that are killing it. We're going to keep it pretty basic today because YouTube is a pretty big subject. All of them are pretty big subjects. So the last few weeks, we've done foundational work. So we did the foundations on TikTok. We did the foundations on Instagram. We did the foundations on LinkedIn. Today we got YouTube. Next week, we're actually going to talk about Facebook, you guys. It's true. They're coming back. They're making some growth happen. But today we're going to talk about YouTube. So last week, as I said, we did a foundations on LinkedIn. So as Shane had mentioned, if you want any of the past recordings of what we've done, the first 8 weeks that I joined you guys, we did a foundations. How do you come up with content? What should you be talking about? An overall strategy, because the goal for those 8 weeks was so that all the agents that joined me would have enough content that could get it pre-scheduled for August so they could take the whole of August off and still continue to show up. That stuff is still true now. So I encourage you, if you have not watched those classes, go back into the Facebook group, go and watch it. The same content material that I teach you guys is the same stuff that we do for clients. And I've charged quite a good amount of money to take those courses with me. So you guys get it totally for free. So go back and have a look. All right. So last week talked about LinkedIn, how to optimize your profile. And we talked about what makes it so different versus the others. And in summary, you get access to LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and it gives you access to data that you really can't get with any other platform, which makes it so powerful. So if I've got anybody on the call today that is like things like agent attraction, or you like going after, professionals like lawyers, doctors, things like that, they're on LinkedIn, and they're actually really easy to find. So go back and watch that class. All right. To start us off here, I couldn't do a YouTube class without mentioning Levi and Travis. So they have an entire course. Today, what I'm going to show you is not crazy in depth. Today is really just to give you an understanding of what makes this platform so powerful, so you can understand kind of how it works and how you can start to wrap your head around this. But if you want to take this more seriously, I seriously encourage you to reach out to, I believe Shane can provide us with the link today, or get us something. They're also coaches in the main DYIC program, right, Shane?
Yeah, so agents that are partnered up with us through W Income Coaching, you get access to their program. It's 100% free. You also get access to their coaching, which they do every week. You get access to their private group. If you're not a partner with us here at W Income Coaching, then you can purchase the course. It's available to any real estate agent that wants to implement this program. And they've basically cracked the code here on YouTube. I think their first year of publishing their channel so the crazy part about these guys is that, so Travis, who's the guy on the right-hand side, he was a brand new agent, licensed. His first year did 79 transactions from YouTube alone. And I think they're tracking close to 400 million in volume. They've spoken at numerous conferences about this, and they're only in their second year. I think they've grown their team to over 20 agents now. They've just really blown up here on YouTube. And so they built, I've gone through their entire course. My wife's gone through their entire course. So they built an entire program around exactly what they did, types of videos you need to shoot and things like that. So if you are part of our DYIC group, so you're partners with us, you have access to this. And if you are looking to do YouTube, I would highly suggest going through that program. It's really good. So
yeah, so that's why I wanted to mention those guys today. So you, like, as I go through this is going to give you an idea of what to be doing. And then at the end of this, and you're like, I really want to take YouTube more seriously, you kind of have two options. You have go do it yourself and learn how to do it from Travis and Levi, or you can come and talk to me and I can help you. And we do all the editing and figure out everything that you need to be doing. So wanted to give these guys some love. Okay, so let's get into it. Why YouTube? Okay, so first of all, it is the second most used search engine in the world. Okay, this is a really big deal. We see this raising more and more each year, the amount of people who come on, but people like myself, when they're trying to find solutions to things, they're not going to Google. They're going to YouTube to make those searches to find things out. I can actually dedicate my entire career to YouTube. When I've ever wanted to learn something or do anything, I've gone to YouTube to go and figure it out. I'm one of those people that will watch something on 2x speed, devour it, learn everything from it, watch all of that creator. YouTube, I'd say, is probably the most social media platform that I personally use, but I represent a very large demographic of people just like that. So that's why you got to really take this platform serious. Now, the next cool thing is that the videos are often featured above top ranked websites. So let's just let's think of a subject. Well, yeah, here, let's go. Best realtors on YouTube. Okay. So see this at the top, these are the ads. We don't pay attention. These are the videos that come up top. Okay. Then come the highly most ranked websites. And we all know in the real estate space that search engine optimization on a website is insanely expensive. I talked to somebody yesterday and he's like, yeah, I'm paying like $5,000 a month to try and get my website to #1. I was like, you are a crazy man. I can think of a lot of ways that we could spend that $5,000. But what we're seeing here is that they're putting the videos on top. So that's really important when we think about an overall digital marketing strategy, is that you're going to have that video does well. You could potentially be ranking against the biggest spots. Like think of the Zillows and the realtor.coms who hold on to those 1 and 2 positions with the keywords. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm just going to close one door. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so the next piece here is attention.
But can I interrupt for a second, Kara? I don't mean to, but it's not just so the SEO is super powerful, right? With the videos. So in the search that you did like you put a search in there which was best realtors on YouTube, but it's not just like it's things like moving to Chicago, like if you put in living in Toronto. And you'll see like right on the first page, and it's so hard now to get on the first page with your websites. So if you scroll down, you'll get, is it showing videos on yours?
Yep. Yeah. And look who it is.
Right there.
Look who it is. It's Rochelle.
And so here's the crazy part about this. To get on the first page of Google for your website could take you years, and you may never, and it could take you like so much money to try to get there. And the SEO that you would have to do on your website would be, there's so much competition, right? But look at this. This is 9 months in, and that's my wife. So the first video on Google for the search term living in Toronto pops up first, right? So this is the power of YouTube and like what you can do with this platform.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we're seeing that more and more, just because, again, with Google, we may not all know this, but Google owns YouTube, right? So it was a no-brainer for them to start taking these videos and placing them in the top search ranks. But just as Shane said, getting #1 in for these big search terms is very, very expensive to do. So this is a way, way better strategy, way better to spend your resources. The next thing here is you're going to hold attention a lot longer, like so much longer. The average watch time is around 11 minutes of somebody sitting there and watching one of your videos. So you now just had that person come in and watch you. The other interesting statistic, and we'll get into there, is the amount of people that use YouTube on a desktop versus a mobile phone. Okay. When somebody's on their mobile phone paying attention to your content, there's a million other things that are happening and distractions that take them away from your content. Most of the people that watch the content on YouTube are on their desktop. And when they come there, they've come to watch you, and you've now held their attention. And because it's a platform of long form content, we don't see the random scrolling like we do on other platforms. So this is why it's very important to take YouTube seriously. The other thing here is that it utilizes your time extremely effectively. What I mean by that is, oftentimes in social media content, you probably have heard the term long form, big pillar content, where you can take one piece of content and you can chop it up into all other little bits. It's a practice that we often do. You could technically take one YouTube video that could become a podcast, and then you can clip golden nuggets, right? Little clips of the smartest, greatest things that you said from that video can now become other pieces. So as a realtor, it utilizes your time extremely effectively. It creates beautiful search terms for you that allow you to stay on the top of Google and stick it to the man like Zillow, and really grab and hold people's attention and really see you as the authority in a certain space. So that's why I really love YouTube. It is the biggest time suck and draining, though, in terms of resources. The reason why you do not see as many realtors on this platform as you do with other platforms like Facebook and Instagram is because the execution of it is not as easy. But it's sometimes we over complicate things in our head. It's not that difficult. Just takes a little bit of extra finesse and beginning of work. Once we have proper things set up, like a studio, and we've got our camera and we've got a flow and we understand what we're doing, it moves into a flow just like everything else does. Yeah, so Shane's totally right. So we're seeing like more people like watch their TVs, like, and you like, we have YouTube, we have smart televisions in Canada, we have them here in Colombia. I haven't had cable television in like 10 years. I watch everything on YouTube. So that's a big part of like my generations and generations behind me, is a very, very, very big thing. So some stats here for you. 1.7 billion users, the B, 14.3 billion visits every single month. The average person, sorry, I got it wrong. It's 19 minutes a day is what they spend on there. And again, like I said, 22% are watching this on a mobile. That means the other remaining 78% are using it on their desktop, which means that their intent is very, very high. And it's the same way as when we scroll on Facebook, something just scrolls through and it comes through. A lot of times people go to YouTube to search for something. So that's why these search word key terms that we use come into a big play. And of course, it's currently getting 15 billion views daily, which is crazy. It's crazy. SEO is a big part, though, of search engine optimization, how we mark up the keywords in the titles, in the captions, what we actually say in the videos. That plays a very, very big part as to whether the algorithm will serve up your piece of content. One of the things that I really like to impart onto clients and future clients like yourself is to never underestimate the power of its particular algorithm, and that is what is called as a half-life. And I'm sure some of you have heard me talk about this before. When you post a piece of content on Facebook or Instagram, it has a very, very short half-life. Like we're talking anywhere from 60 minutes to 90 minutes. This means that out of the 1,000 followers that you have, when you post that piece of content at 12 o'clock, your followers have up until 1:30 to view that piece of content, or they have to physically go back to your profile in order to see that. So a life of a piece of content is not very long. It's very different when it comes to YouTube. With the correct search engine optimization on a video, and if that video gets served well within the algorithm and does well, that video will live for months, if not years, and it will continue to rack up more and more and more and more views. So Shane, I'll bet all the money in my bank that Rochelle gets leads from videos that she did from a long time ago, correct?
Yeah, all the time. And even some like her best performing videos, like they still get you still see the views. I think it was maybe a month and a half ago I posted that one of her videos had gotten 100,000 views. It's up to close to 170,000 views now. So obviously, we got an additional 70,000 views in the span of 6 months or 6 weeks.
Yeah. So we see that the resources that you put into it today are going to pay off in dividends, in perpetuity, continuing down the road. And I really liked it when I saw one of Levi's videos, and he was asked if he had ever calculated how much money every single time that he put out a video. Can I get any guesses? I just want to hear a guess. Let's make this interactive. I want to have some fun with you guys today. Can I get any guesses in the chat? How much do you think that the team that I showed you that came up with the course, how much money every single time that they put out a video, how much money do you think that they're making from a video? Okay. Not a listing, not a lead, every single time that they put out a video. And if you've gone through their course, you're not allowed to answer this question. Okay, Jason says 6,800. Tom says 5,000. Jason says, oops. Well, now you just gave it away. So it's $6,000, okay, every single time that they have put out a video. And that was at the time when they built the course and when they went through it. I guarantee you it's more now, because now as time goes on, they're putting out more videos, but they're making more money. That number is only going to go up, provided they don't quit being a realtor. But I don't think that's happening anytime soon, because that team just crushes it. So that's how I want you to think of this, is that yes, we are playing the long tail game. I guarantee you, as you start out on this YouTube journey, you're not going to all of a sudden have an influx of leads. It's going to take you a little bit of time. But like, how cool would it be to know that every single time I put the effort and love into making a video, it's going to produce X number of dollars. I had Christian Mortuzo on my podcast the other day, and I think I asked him the same question. And it was you'll have to check the podcast. I won't. It was very surprising how much money every time he puts out a YouTube, a TikTok, how much money he makes. The next big change here is YouTube Shorts. Okay. They've made some very, very recent changes. And this is part of the reason why I named my company the Nimble Agent. And that is because things are constantly changing. The advice that I give out to clients and the work that we do, it's always changing. And we have to stay on top of what's working now. Because TikTok slays it and came in and overtook video views from YouTube, they had to make some changes, and they had to finally sit back and go, you know what, I think they're onto something. I think I know what their algorithm is doing. So they have created the YouTube Shorts to act similarly to the TikTok algorithm. It's not as good, but it's similar. But here's the big change. They want to grow the reels. They want to grow the shorts. So what they're doing is, when you are consistently putting out YouTube Shorts, it will affect the amount of viewers that you now receive on your long form content. So if you are engaging with the YouTube Shorts, the algorithm is affected. The videos that show up in your feed. So if we go, let's just go to YouTube. What's in my feed is now affected by any YouTube Shorts that I'm consuming. Okay, so that's a big deal. I can see now that my kids are at home watching TV with the nanny, and they shouldn't be. So now I got to go and say something. But anyways, let's get that out. So it affects what comes in my feed here. So yes, today we're going to position everything on long form content, on how to find long form content. But everything that I've taught you guys when it comes to TikTok, the types of content that you should be producing, how to produce it, the captions and subtitles, all that good stuff, it all applies to YouTube Shorts. Okay, so if you are producing short form content, you absolutely should be scheduling it onto YouTube Shorts. And you can do that. You don't even need a scheduler. You can use the Studio Creator to schedule that for you. But it's going to have a big placement as to how well your videos do. And that's brand new, guys. That just came out as an update maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. So how do we come up with content ideas? We come up with going after what I like to call low-hanging fruit. Yes, you should be creating content just around what I tell you guys in terms of, what are the objections? What are the things that keep your most ideal avatars up at night? Okay, that has its place. But if you really, really want to have these videos survive in the algorithm, you have to do a little bit of keyword research. And what you need to be doing is, once we understand our avatar and our ideal clients, we then want to figure out the subjects that they are searching for, that our competition is not trying to rank for. So this is, kind of SEO 101, whether we're optimizing a website, whether we're optimizing a Google My Business listing, and of course, if we're optimizing for videos, is that we want to figure out what is the competition searching for, what is the types of videos that I want to make for that subject that I know will have a fighting chance in the algorithm, because I'm not trying to compete with another creator who has millions of views on that video. And when we understand what now it is, and you go around and you do these, what I call sniff tests, and you start searching around and you've identified certain keywords that you want to go after, you want to see how the other creators are optimizing for those keywords. How well did they do it? Was the subject actually presented? But as you're starting out on this journey, you have to be very, very analytical about this process. If you are just making content for the sake of making content, it's probably not going to do all that well, because you're starting off from scratch and you have a lot of competition on the YouTube platform, like a lot. So the number one way that you're going to do that, you're going to use a tool called TubeBuddy. Okay. TubeBuddy makes it really, really easy to identify what keywords that you should be using. It gives you a little bit of research on it. It can help analyze your actual captions, your titles. It'll give you a score. It'll tell you how well you've optimized for that keyword, that the keywords that I told you to check out. I've linked a couple of videos here for you guys to go out and check out on YouTube University. So let me drop this slide deck in the chat here for you. All right, so there's 2 links here. So this one here takes you to like the YouTube Buddy version. It's an 8-minute version that gives you like an overview of how to use TubeBuddy. And then this one here is one of my favorite creators that teaches YouTubers how to really grow. It's a little bit of a longer video, But if you're going to consider through this process, I really recommend watching this video because it just gives you a little bit more insight as to how useful this tool is. Okay. So go and grab TubeBuddy. It's not crazy expensive. There is a free version that actually works incredibly well. But like I said, if you're going to commit to this YouTube process, it is worth its weight in gold.
The other thing too that's really good with TubeBuddy is you can analyze your competition. So if you're creating content, and so you can if you have somebody else in your own market and you're creating similar content, because the content typically is fairly relatively similar, right? In a lot of cases, you're doing neighborhood videos, or you're doing, you know, the video about the city or whatever it is. You're likely going to have some competition. But what's really cool is you can analyze your competition TubeBuddy. If they're getting scores of like 75% or 60, I've seen some really, really low, then it gives you an advantage, right? So you can create the same content, just make sure that your SEO is, you know, hitting 98 to 100%. You should rank higher than your competition.
Yeah. Great tip there, Shane. Cool. Let's talk about what kind of content to post. So now that you have TubeBuddy, you have an idea of what your avatar's deepest, darkest desires are. Now you want to start creating some content, vlog style content of your farming market. So there's certain neighborhoods that you really want to go after. What I mean by vlog style is you're there with your camera, you're touring around, you're talking to the camera, talking about notable things, what makes that neighborhood great, what makes it terrible. You know, if there's anything to know about parking on the streets, anything that a buyer would want to consider, that is great material that goes into that. Another is your content roadmap that I give you guys. So back in week 3, I think, we had an entire hour-long class where we sat down with who are our 4 avatars, what are the biggest questions, what are the solutions that they're looking for, and then where does that bring you in? And if you completed that content roadmap, you would have come away with about over 100 different titles and subjects for content ideas. That's a great place to look if you're feeling stuck on what to create. The next is current events and your personal take. So there's some YouTubers out that have been putting out some stuff on what's been happening on the new construction. I think if anybody's from Toronto, you probably heard about this developer who lost his license. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it got quite a big amount of views because it's a very current event, has to do with real estate. And then of course, using something like TubeBuddy will identify other keywords that you should be marking up this content with. And then what is your personal take? The reason why I have your personal take on there is that at the end of the day, views are sexy, they're fun, they're great, it's cool. But the only reason that we're doing this is to collect buyer and seller leads at the end of the day, right? We want to be able to grow our businesses. So giving your personal take and how you can help people, what your opinion on that is, can be very valuable in collecting leads on that content. Some other ideas here for you are what I call listicles, top 10, my favorite 3, 6 things you didn't know. That's called a listicle. Okay. That's like one of the easiest ways to not have to be creative about coming up with content is coming up with a listicle. Opposing opinions. I'm going to show you some that Rochelle has done that, you know, kind of bring you off guard. It's like, don't move to Toronto. It's not a good place. It's not really what she was having to say, but like at the end of the day, having a little bit of an opposing opinion can have like what we call like a clickbait effect. It has people coming in and being like, well, why are you not agreeing with that? Some of the best, you can make lists of best neighborhoods in your area. And then this is a little golden nugget that I really, really love to do. So search your competitors, look at their comments and look at their questions that their audience is getting. That's a great place to start for some ideas on what content you should be making, because the people, the competitors who already have these huge, massive, dedicated community following are going to be asking questions that content creator hasn't made yet. That's an opportunity for you to stay on top of what people are trying to figure out. So I really love that method. And then of course, Shane mentioned using TubeBuddy, seeing what your competitors are doing. Your ideal length is 7 to 14 minutes. Okay. But just because we go with that length doesn't mean that you should just put in all kinds of time or fluff. You want to do quick cuts and you want to cut out all of the white space and all of the noise. There is something very interesting that I'm noticing happening on the platform. One of my favorite creators, and he has nothing to do with real estate, but he's like the most swole marketer as we all like to say. I also tell my husband that this is my internet boyfriend. I encourage you guys to check this out because he's so good at Shane's laughing. He's so good at sales and operations and team management, and just life. And he just puts things in just very short, concise patterns. I love, love, love his content. I'm obsessed with his content, but I have noticed, so this man here currently spends between him and his wife about $75,000 per month on just content, no ads, just content. So he's brought on this massive, massive team. And I'm now seeing this pattern. Look at 4 minutes and 44 seconds, 6 minutes and 20 seconds, 6:43, 5:12, 6:54. I'm interested to see where this is going. So we're seeing shorter form content come in, but if you watch his content, short, snappy, cuts out the white noise. And I definitely suggest that for you. Don't just make it longer just to say, I have to get it to 7 minutes. Okay. But what I mean by quick cuts is whenever you have a pause or there was this long in between, or see how I'm dragging on the words. That's not good YouTube content. You got to cut all that stuff out. We are seeing things like on, how we go on to TikTok has changed really the way that we consume a lot of our other media. And on TikTok, we have the emojis that pop up and the captions and the big words that come up. We're seeing that trending a lot as well with your videos. Oh, that one duplicated on me. Okay, cool. So let's check out Rochelle's. So if you didn't know, Shane's gorgeous wife, Rochelle, absolutely slays it on YouTube. Okay. She has taken the course that I showed you guys at the beginning, went through it all, developed a strategy. How many leads per day would you say that you, on average, are you guys generating from this channel?
Oh, it's daily. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure because she doesn't send me all the leads. Like she didn't tell me how many leads she's getting every single day. And of course, it's like anything else. Some leads are going to be better than others. Some people are, we've gotten leads where it's like, hi, I'm looking to immigrate to Canada. Can you help me? It's like, come on, like we're real estate agents, can't help. But what I can say is these are by, so, like Kara, I've been in the space, helping real estate agents on the marketing side for about 8 years now. I think it's been about 8 years. I've done everything from Google ads, Facebook ads. I haven't touched TikTok yet, but and we've built call centers or ISA teams. We've worked with a lot of real estate agents that spend tons of money. And this is by far, like from everything I've done, everything that I've seen, the quality of the leads are the best I have ever seen. I have never seen leads come in and basically are ready to start shopping. They're either the cash buyers, they're pre-approved. We had one lead a couple of weeks ago come through, and basically it was a text message that came through. It's like, hey, we're thinking of selling our condo. We really like to talk to you, something like that. Rochelle got on a Zoom call that evening. By the next day, she was meeting with them. And so the thing about video, what we've noticed and what's really cool is by the time the people reach, like it's a big ask for them. Like if you look at all the descriptions, it's like, okay, if you want to buy or sell, call me or text me. But because it's such a big audience, what ends up happening is because the ask is so big, the people that are reaching out to you, they've consumed your content and they're ready to go. But they're not most of them are not calling you to waste your time. They're ready to go. They're ready to start shopping. They've been pre-approved, or they're ready to talk to a lender, or they're ready to list their home. There's not too many of these leads that we've talked to, or they are, we because we're in Toronto, we get a lot of immigration. And so we have a lot of out of country people, that are looking to move into Toronto. Like their plane tickets are booked and they're coming in July. Like it's that, like they're ready to start shopping around, or so anyways, my point is the quality of the leads are really, really good. We do get leads daily. And some of them are not good, but the ones that are good are really, really high quality.
Yeah, so pay attention here, guys. So everything that Shane just said sounds like so freaking cool. But look at this. Okay, 4,000 subscribers. You would think that that wouldn't happen. You would think that with only 4,000 subscribers that it wouldn't be doing that. But the point here is that doesn't matter the amount of views and like that's happening here. It's about the content that you're putting out is engaging people enough that they want to reach out to you because they're seeing you as their person. So all these people are seeing Rochelle as like their go-to person that they want to work with when they get into town or when they want to buy in Toronto. So Rochelle has taken everything from that course that I showed you guys and applied it all here. It's all very listicle neighborhoods. She did an opposing one here. Don't move to Toronto. And then talks about the reasons of why, like it actually is like a good spot, but why you might want to not consider it. And then all the different suburbs, very like top 6, top 5, like that's the listicle stuff that I'm talking to you guys about. So I've linked it here for you in the slides. I want you guys to go and check out Rochelle's the different videos that she's putting out. Pay attention to the captions that she's using, the titles that she's using. It's very clear that she's using the TubeBuddy software to really identify what she should be putting out. So that's a very, very cool channel. And I think
there's a new team member.
Story.
We got so busy, we added a new team member.
This one here, I was wondering if she was new or if this was a collaboration.
No, this is a new team member. So Rochelle got so busy, she had to bring somebody else on to take the leads. She couldn't handle it anymore. So.
Who wouldn't love that problem, right? You get so busy that you have to bring somebody else on and close the deals for you, so you could just make money while you sleep. That's what we're all. That's
exactly what
right?
Levi and Travis had to do. Eventually, they just like I said, Travis did 79 transactions in his first year, just all from YouTube. And there's no way you can handle the amount of leads that are coming in. And they say the exact same thing. The quality of the leads that are coming in are unlike anything they've ever seen. Travis comes from a marketing background. He got his real estate license. He started doing Facebook ads and Google ads. Of course, we all know what type of leads you get from that. And he started doing YouTube, and it was like, oh my God, like, people are calling me. And when the thing is, when you get on the phone with these people, they're super excited to talk to you. It's like they're talking to a celebrity. That's, we've never had, and here's the other cool thing, like we've never had a Zoom call that's been booked where somebody didn't show up. We've never had, we used to run into this problem all the time. We'd book appointments, you get a 50 to 60% show up rate, right? So you got 40% of the people are just not showing up to the calls. With YouTube, we've never had that. Rochelle never runs into somebody not showing up to a call. And so it's, anyways, again, the quality is much, much higher.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a different conversation. When they reach out, they've been watching all of your content. They know who you are. They're not having the conversations of, I don't remember filling out a form. You're not competing with a whole bunch of other realtors who are also talking to that lead. They're a lot more exclusive to you. I sent over I always like to show off some other examples too. So I've linked them all here. If you click on this link, so we'll just have a quick look, but you can see here that there's other realtors who are doing some of the same things. They have, big giant followings. Some have smaller followings, but you can see here that same sort of like listicle vlog, the day in the life kind of stuff. The day in the life kind of stuff, I would recommend that you wait until you have a very, very large following, because when you're starting off, people kind of don't care. A day in the life works best when you already have a community built for yourself. But as far as, go and check out, again, see what their thumbnails look like, because thumbnails do play a big part on the videos that you're putting out. Pay attention to the comments and they're getting in the sections, because that's going to give you more ideas. What do they title these videos? How do they open these videos? One thing though that I still see happening is like big long intros. Try not to have a big long intro. I know we love our own sexy branding and we want the world to see it, but you have to follow the same principles I teach you guys, is that, the first few seconds are pretty important, that you hook that person in and give them a reason why they need to come in and stay. So again, these are all very traditional buyer and seller generating types of realtors that I'm sending over. You can see this one's going all in on shorts. She's got a lot of shorts coming out right now, because she's paying attention to where the algorithm is going. So as you're creating this stuff, the shorts are important. You can take the long form content that you're creating and make it into shorts. And just keep in mind that just follow the same rules that I've given you when it comes to TikTok. And then we have, we'll go back up here. See how Nyaja, I hope I'm saying her name right. But I have a cool example for you here just to give you guys a little bit of vote of confidence, because when we think about doing video, I hear almost always, I'm not good on video, I'm not young enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, or I don't think I look good on video, or I'm going to look really bad. I want to show you guys a couple of examples here. So here is one of the last videos. So this woman here that I just showed you, let's just quickly take a look at one of the last videos she put out. We'll just have a quick watch, just a few seconds. Okay, she's got great lighting. She's got great sound. She sounds great. She looks super confident. She's obviously hired some help. You know, she's got good panning, good shots here. It looks great. It's a great video. It's got, 38,000 views. It's a good looking piece of content. Now, you know how I'm always telling you guys, go and find your favorite YouTube creators and then go and look at the very first video they ever created? Let's go to this exact same creator. This was the very first video she ever posted on YouTube. So it's got shaky. It's not a great camera. It's not even in 4K. She's not even using a mic. Yeah, like it's just like, see how shaky, like it's not a good look, guys. It's not a good look. So I just wanted to have that as an example for you to, like, you don't have to come out of the gate with all this gear and you don't have to go and buy a mirrorless 4K camera, and you don't have to have a cameraman behind you doing all this. You just have to get started so that you can start to build an audience. And again, focus on the actual content, not focus on the subscribers, because subscribers don't mean nothing. Rochelle only has 4,000 subscribers, but yet here we are, and we just learned about now she can't even handle the amount of leads that she's getting in.
I think one of the I was going to mention one of the guys, because I'm part of the Real Agents mastermind, and so somebody had posted in there. He just started his YouTube channel, had 12 subscribers, and basically got his first pre-approved buyer lead, and they're scheduled to go shopping for homes. Like, that's 12 subscribers. I think it threw out 2 videos. Like, it can start happening pretty quickly. For you. I just, a lot of times it depends on your market, just depends on the competition. Like, it will depend on a few things, but it has nothing to do with the amount of subscribers you have. It really doesn't.
Yeah. So in terms of, like, I know you know how I like to give you guys a little bit of homework. All you really have to do now is I want you to go and find some other competitors or other creators that you really enjoy their content, what they're doing. Pay attention to the types of content that they're putting out. Pay attention to how they open up the videos. Pay attention to the thumbnails that they use, the titles that they use. More importantly, go into the comments section. Go look at the newest comments posted first and look for all of the questions that those people are asking. That is going to be a really, really great start for you to start producing videos. The editing of the videos, you kind of have a couple of choices. So you can use fancy softwares like Final Cut Pro or Adobe. Your iPhone, if anybody's an iPhone user, comes with iMovie. Pretty easy to use. You just slide back and forth to cut it up. You don't need to get as fancy with like things like TikTok, where I know I said cut out the white noise, but you don't have to go as fancy of that if you're just starting out. But I really, really recommend, if you're not ready to use a service like mine, where we manage the whole experience for you, that you should be going on to some places like Fiverr, go and finding a YouTube editor who has a decent price with a really, really good rating. And then, so Shane's saying here that he uses WeVideo. Perfect. Yeah. So that's another, there's lots of great little editing softwares out there that you could be using. But my point here is again, always as I preach, done is better than perfect. Execution is everything. You just have to get started. Just like I showed you that creator's first video that really wasn't all that great, is that you have to start getting momentum on the platform. As far as posting and a schedule goes, ideally you are posting about once a week to start. And consistency is incredibly important when it comes to YouTube. You can't just post 2 videos one week, then take a month off and then post and then kind of go 3 weeks. The platform doesn't like it. It can't predict what you're going to do. So you have to pick a posting schedule and be very, very consistent. My recommendation to you is spend one day, get your 4 videos done, get them edited, get in the bank, then do another day of that. You can have 8 videos in the bank. That'll give you a good runway and to ensure that you can stay consistent. And then be mindful when you've got vacation or busy periods coming up so that you can always have some content in the bank. But you need to start off at once per week. If you're looking to aggressively grow on this platform and you want to do a lot, you need to be posting 3 to 4 times per week. Okay. And then making sure that you're putting those YouTube shorts out. YouTube shorts are going to be a great way to really move forward your results nice and quick. So go have a look, find your favorite creators, go and hang out in the comment section, get some really good, solid ideas, learn from them, but then you need to figure out on your own. I suggest starting off in your office, pick a decent background, and then you can always hire an editor to input different various B-roll, different shots of in and around your town, coffee shops, notable areas, notable neighborhoods that they can splice into that video along with your office style video so that it's not super dry content. Questions? Okay. I guess we're all ready to go and crush YouTube then.
They're all YouTube professionals here.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. You must have some questions. This is a big topic too.
Who here, who is anybody currently producing YouTube right now? You're welcome, Caroline. You're welcome. Is anybody planning? Okay, cool. Jason, great to hear that. Okay. Okay. I do, but for real estate licensing, interesting. Okay. Planning, Beverly. Okay, sweet. Nani says, I teach the class. Oh, okay. I thought you meant you teach on YouTube, but I was like, girl, you should be up here. But you teach for real estate licensing. Got it. Okay. Yeah, the editing. Yeah. So Shane gave us a WeVideo, which is an option. There's all kinds of video editors out there. I do fully believe that this is like no realtor should ever really be touching editing. Like no matter where you're at, you can find somebody who can take a few hours off of your plate, because for you to learn how to do editing, it's not an easy skill to do. The softwares to do like proper editing are actually really expensive. Like Final Cut Pro, I think is like $600 or $700 Canadian. So it's really, really best to find somebody, because I want to make sure that you can stay consistent to your posting schedule. But more importantly, like your best value time as a realtor is calling your leads. So if you're busy editing, you don't have the time or the resources or energy to call back those leads. And that's your number one most high production activity. So I would recommend following and finding an editor.
Yeah, like let me say something about that. Like we have an editor, we have somebody that posts the videos, and so the only thing that Rochelle does, and we have another team member that takes half the leads, and even with that, like even with all that help, she can still only get 1 video out per week. Some of the bigger content, like Levi, I think Levi puts out 5 pieces a week out. I don't know how he does it, but he's got a massive team. So just keep that in mind, because it does take quite a bit of effort to put these together. So the more help you do have, and the editors, like I think our editor charges us $70 a video. So he'll cut the entire thing. So it's basically just shoot the video, upload it, and then like for $70. Now we got lucky.
You got lucky.
I would say
that's cheese.
Yeah. Well, they're overseas, right? But we spent the time. I think we went through like 9 editors before we found this guy. So you're going to so you're almost better off to use like a service like Kara's or anybody else that has this kind of service that they can do the editing, can do the posting for you, so you can really focus on your leads and your production as well as creating the content, right?
So Tom was asking the name of Travis's and Levi's programs called Passive Prospecting. So I think if you go through the DYIC, the other calls that you guys have, do you want to just explain that one more time for me, Shane?
I can just drop a link to their program, I think.
Okay.
Find it.
Yeah, and if you guys need help with this, you can talk to me. I'll send you, there's my email here. We can either come up with content ideas, we can strategize, we can do the whole fulfillment where you just need to star in the videos. There's a few options there for you. Fatmira says, what should the background be? Any tips? Good question. Depth of field, I do find can be quite important. So right now, as you see, like my background here is not doesn't look zoomed out, right? It's clear. So I kind of blend into everything. Whereas if I was sitting on the other side of this boardroom and then the camera was in front of me and then this poster would be back behind, I would be much more in focus. So there's some really, really great YouTube videos out there that will teach you how to create really interesting backgrounds, how to create like 3 different spaces within your office. In fact, actually, I'm flying down to, actually, I forgot to tell you about this. Amy Weist, she just randomly came to the calls one Thursday. She's having me fly down to Nashville, Tennessee to help build their studio inside their brokerage so that the team can have a nice little studio. We can do filming there for them, which I thought was pretty cool. But your studio should emulate your background. You want to find little bits that you can have to do with your branding. So you can have little pops if you know what your branding colors are. It's really fun if you can find little ways to put that in there. You don't have to go crazy though. Like you literally just could be sat at your desk. The only thing that you just don't want to do is you just don't want a bunch of clutter. You don't want it to be taking away anything from you on the video. So to start off with, do you have any things available in your office that you can incorporate in the background that gives you a little bit of depth of field so that you're closer to the camera, the background is a little bit farther away. And then little things like plants can make a nice little addition, lighting, little bits of light. There's lots of those, like if you go to, like I know Winners, if you're Canadian, and Winners is a big thing here. They sell the little strobe lights that can turn it pink, blue, red, like find little ways to pop. But I would go onto YouTube and I would search how to get a good YouTube background. And there's lots of creators who've created some very, very cool videos on how to incorporate your branding and how to put it all together and how to have like multiple little sets within your little filming studio. Ideally, to really, really win on this process, if you can, this is down the road. This is not something I want you to have to think about setting up tomorrow. But ideally, you have a setup that allows you just to come and turn it on by turning on one single power board. Your camera, your lighting, everything turns on so you can just go in and film. If you are always having to set everything up all the time, it can just create a little bit too much friction to actually get it done. Vicky, I do not recommend that you use a virtual background. It just comes off as really inauthentic, very kind of like early, like 90s. I do recommend having a good, solid background that again can help incorporate a little bit of your brand instead of a virtual background. Lorgia says, I'm planning, but I struggle with what content to post and editing. Not good at all. So yeah, so that's where I would go back and watch a little bit about what I said about when it comes to TubeBuddy, going to your competitors' comment sections. And then of course, going through week 3 or week 4, Shane posted the link earlier to the content roadmap. So you can have an idea of what it is that you should be posting. Tom says, does it always have to be the same background? No, it doesn't. It does not have to be the same background for all of your videos. You'll see that the Rochelle example that I gave, she's always in and around town. She's walking around Toronto. That's how she films everything. There's a little bit, I think, that you guys do at the house, but a lot of the big videos that have done really well have actually been like her walking around town. Does the background have to be business, living area? No, again, so go back to
so much focus on the background. It's like, worry about your content. That's what you need to worry about. Like seriously, that's the important part. Your backgrounds are like, if you look at Levi, so Levi does a lot of stuff outside, but he does a ton of stuff in his office, like all his map walkthrough, like all that stuff's all done in the office. Just it's an office background. Then he does walkthroughs. Rochelle built it, like the reason Rochelle does all her content while she's walking around the city with a selfie stick. Like, we could get a videographer, she could do them at home, but she's made that part of her brand, right? And she feels really empowered walking around with a selfie stick downtown Toronto with, the cars honking at her. Like, she's just really empowered by doing that. So she just continued doing that, and that's become part of her brand. She's, she feels like she wants to create that, where she's the person that's walking around in the city, filming. That's her background all the time. Don't focus so much on these are small details that are like your content, and getting something created is what's most important here, right? Of course, these digital backgrounds, probably not what you want to do, but filming in your office or filming outside or filming in your backyard, like, I don't think the background is going to make a massive difference. Focus on content, focus on how to optimize that. So you have the SEO so that people can actually find you, and you're going to do just fine with that.
Yeah, solid advice. I have to run here on a call. I've got a call. Vicky, I know that you and I need to connect. So let me just jump over to my scheduled Zoom call that I've got here. I'm going to call you right after. Any other questions before we pop off today's class?
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Good
Appreciate your
stuff.
time.
All right, guys, everybody. Yeah. Kara, thanks so much for doing this again. Everybody, make sure to tune in again next Thursday. Really quickly, Kara, what are we talking about next Thursday? Have we decided yet?
Kicking it old school. We're going to talk about Facebook, because
All
they have
right.
now dedicated 30% of their algorithm towards creators that you don't follow yet. And they've taken a little bit of the TikTok algorithm into there. So we're going to kind of dive into that.
Awesome. Good stuff. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Have an amazing rest of your week, and have a great weekend. We'll see you next Thursday. And Kara, thank you so much. All right.
You're welcome.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.